Bloomberg Audio Studios. Podcasts, radio, news.
The Stock Movers Podcast, your roundup of companies making moves in the stock market, harnessing the power of Bloomberg data.
Let's take a look at some of the stocks on the move today. For that, we're joined by Bloomberg's Norma Linda. Norma, what are you looking at?
Well, we do see the stock market that is really fluctuating back and forth. I've got a name in the green for you. Taking a look at Alphabet. Now, we see shares that are pairing their gains, but they earlier rose as much as 4%. And this is after it beat on estimates. And this is due to its Google search ad business. We are seeing Google Cloud. It brought in an operating profit of $2.18 billion. This beat estimates for Wall Street. And the company really remains heavily invested in AI. So this is some good news for the company, especially as we're thinking about a lot of these tech names. But in the broader scope, I am looking at shares of Alphabet that are down about 14% this year. But we do have Jefferies noting that this report came in better than feared.
Right. I feel like that's going to be a theme for some of these guys, right? We're expecting the worst and it's not as bad. And therefore, there you go. But speaking of, T-Mobile was a bit of a surprise because when Verizon disappointed, we were all like, ooh, maybe T-Mobile is stealing their customers, but maybe that's not true.
Exactly. I mean, that may not be the case. We are seeing T-Mobile being one of the worst performing. It is the worst performing stock right now in the S&P 500 by a percentage basis. Shares are down as much as 11% in trading. This is the worst intraday fall since the start of the pandemic. That was back in March 2020. Wow. So pretty brutal as we're looking at the pressure here that T-Mobile is seeing. But this is due to some rising competition. So their mobile phone subscribers fell short of expectations. And broker also are flagging that the customer turnover was higher than expected. Sure. And they're saying that this is likely as a result to T-Mobile's increased pricing. It's really interesting because I always wonder if people are, do they have a brand that they stick with? It doesn't matter if it's Verizon, you stick with Verizon, or when prices start going up, are you going to move?
Well, I'm a Verizon person. Haven't moved since the beginning of the whole mobile thing back in the day.
Likewise.
Charlie Pellet sings the praises of T-Mobile.
I'm a T-Mus.
You're a T-Mus? Mm-hmm. Tom Keene is at AT&T. And have you changed?
I went from Verizon to T-Mus.
You did?
Okay. A few years ago. Hey, I got free Wi-Fi from T-Mus on American Airlines yesterday.
Okay.
And you guys have T-Mobile Tuesdays where you can get all these free food. Download the app.
Huh? What?
I might be coming your way.
Okay.
All right, so there we go. So everybody's got their brand there, but it's a competitive marketplace. AT&T did well with their subscribers. Verizon and T-Mobile not so well. So who knows? What else you got?
I mean, another name that's not doing well, I'm looking at Intel, down as much as 10% today. And of course, people are really looking at this company to see whether or not they can have this turnaround story that this new CEO is really putting out there and saying that he wants to do. He's saying that the company needs a cultural shakeup, plans to cut jobs, remove layers of management, and require employees to work in person 4 days a week. But I mean, this company is really one of the worst performing stocks as well in the S&P 500 this morning. It's saying that it plans to reduce operating costs to $17 billion this year and $16 billion next year. But it's really this bleak outlook that they have given that's really making Wall Street a bit apprehensive.
The Stock Movers Podcast from Bloomberg Radio. Check back with us throughout the day for the latest roundup of companies making news on Wall Street. And for the latest market-moving headlines, listen to Bloomberg Radio live. Catch us on YouTube, Bloomberg.com, and on Apple CarPlay and Android Auto with the Bloomberg Business app.